Let's get ready to ramble.
Good evening, friends. Welcome to Ramblings of a Middle-Aged Card Collector, where we celebrate art, artists, and the collector stories that make this hobby so incredible. Tonight on episode 19, The Collective Mindset, Community Through Art, Passion, and Purpose. We're stepping into the world of original comic art with a guest who's built one of the most unique and original comic art community-driven groups in the hobby, DiTullio Art Collective. Whether you're a longtime OA junkie, a card collector dipping your toes into the world of illustrations, or someone who just loves hearing how passion becomes a platform, this is an episode you'll want to stick around for. We're talking origin stories, art drops, curation, OAX, and the amazing art roster of artists DAC brings to the table. Enough rambling from me. Let's jump into the conversation and welcome our guest, Matt DiTullio.
Oh man, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Good, man. I don't know if I can live up to that intro, but I'm going to try to ramble. You know what I mean?
That's it. That's what we're here for, bro.
Oh, man. Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it. And I've been looking forward to it. We kind of, we chat about it, New York Comic Con, October timeframe. We're able to do it right before the holidays. So very excited to be on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming on. That was an incredible, awesome time. If no one's ever done a comic art live meetup, you have to do it.
They're well worth it. I agree.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun for that. Got to meet some awesome people in the community. Everyone showed their portfolios, made some comments on each other's comic art fans pages, galleries, and it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, it's a community, man. I mean, that's what it's all about. I've met some of my best friends through collecting, through comic art fans, not only business friends, but, outside of it now that we hang out or, just talk about collecting. And it's really cool. And you kind of get to see people that you see their galleries or, you message with them and comment, then you show up at one place and, you can you have those in-person moments. It's well worth it.
Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely. Well said. Well said. Everyone, please remember to hit pound ramble on for tonight's giveaway. Tonight's giveaway will be a blank mystery sketch from Comic Art Live this year.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, this will be fun. I've got most of mine in. I think I'm waiting for one more mystery sketch. And I think that was Batman Up to the Artist.
Ooh, well, I mean, I got to give you some compliments. I mean, the Man Thing collection it's growing. I mean, it looks great behind you. You got it presented very well. A bunch of different black and white, sketch colors, sketch cards, CGC looks like a 9x12 art. You mean you got a lot of different variations. So that's awesome.
I do. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I put some thought and heart and love and sweat into this curation. So
it's all out, dude. Yeah, man. Absolutely.
And then to my left, which is off camera, is my Man Thing wall of OA.
Sure. There you go.
I wanted to switch it sometimes to do the behind the wall, but all of the paintings are up a little high. So it's just, I'd have to put this camera really far away or
you have to have the panoramic shot.
Yeah.
Then we kind of see if you're actually like wearing pants or not, which maybe
I know. And I'm always in pajama pants. I just got to look presentable for the top up.
Exactly. Like those guys that like log on for the business meetings with just the dress shirt on, they're just in their boxers and like socks. I think those videos are like so funny to me.
Oh, that's Tony Perner right there.
Yeah, for sure. Tony, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm sure our buddy will jump in later. That's funny.
Yeah, he's the man.
All right, Matt. So before we dive into the artwork, artists, and the drops, let's get to the beginning. For listeners who might be new to DiTullio Art Collective, how did you start and what inspired you to create it?
Oh, man. If you've heard it before, forgive me, but, I'll make a long story short. I was a collector my whole life. I think what really got me into, and I try to trace it back, like origin story, what got me into like wanting to collect was, or even like comic art and like, being in that field was like Power Rangers. That was like the first thing for me that was just like, I think my mom said I was like the green or white Power Ranger from the time I was like 5 till I was like 15 for Halloween. I was just like recycling different Power Rangers. I had all the action figures and I wanted to collect those. Had the morphers, wanted to collect those. And, as I got older, I collected sneakers. I collected Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Then I collected comics, and then I sold my comic book collection, my Pokemon card collection, Yu-Gi-Oh card collection, bought my house, and then invested into original art. And kind of what my couple of my buddies and I, we have a saying, you know, it's like all roads lead to original art. You know, eventually you start collecting something and then you find out about something else. And whether it's comic book art or graphic novel or Magic the Gathering or, you know, illustration, a poster, whatever, like eventually if you're really collecting, you want to end up getting the one thing that made it. And, you know, it leads to getting to the original. And for me, I started collecting comic book art. I fell in love because one of my tattoo artist, close friend of mine, Otis Arterberry, get my tattoos done by him. And I'm in his, you know, his studio, and he's got all these, you know, he's got posters from like Tekken 1, Tekken 2. You know, he's got band posters, he's got comic posters, all this stuff. And he had this like fold out, and it was Wolverine fighting this guy with 4 claws. And I'm like, who's that? And he's like, oh, that's Romulus. Do you know this comic series? And, you know, Wolverine Origins and Wolverine Evolution, Simone Bianchi, Jeff Loeb. I'm like, no. So he gave me the graphic novel. I read it, and like the story was great. I loved it, but I fell in love with the art. So I wanted to try to find, you know, the original art from Simone. You know, he's located in Italy. His sister Gloria, you know, is his art rep, and they do a lot of stuff over in Italy. So I started emailing her. You know, started to set some pieces aside for when they came to the States. The first time I met them in person was New York Comic Con 2018. And I remember after getting my first piece of art, I was like, man, you know, there's probably a lot of people here that would love Simone's art just as much as I do, but wouldn't maybe want to go through the hoops of trying to find out where it's located and how to get to it. Because at that point there wasn't, you know, there wasn't a website, or, you know, his stuff wasn't super readily available, and a lot of just Italian collectors were getting it. So I basically kept talking to my tattoo artist, like, you know, I think I grow up in business. My family owns a business. I was like, I think there's a real opportunity here to get some exposure for Simone. Like, you know, in the United States, he just needs a person here that can answer the collectors, not on a, you know, 8-hour time change, just be able to help out, answer questions. So after building up with, you know, my collection through Simone, being a collector of his, reaching out, talking, finally, my tattoo artist Otis was like, you know, you've been talking about doing a business plan and making this for like 6 months, 8 months. You either got to do it or stop talking about it. So I reached out to them, presented them an idea about doing like a VIP breakfast, where we were at New York Comic Con, I think 2021. And it was basically like, you didn't even have to come to the show. It was a complete separate event outside of the show. You got to spend time with Simone, 3 hours, got to have breakfast with him. You got a commission, signatures. We had a CGC rep there, the whole 9. It sold out in like 1 day or less.
Wow.
15 people. Yeah. And after that, it was kind of like, all right, well, Matt, like, do you want to keep doing this? And I was like, yeah, sure. This is awesome. You know, I originally started just helping him with some card stuff and like the Marvel card communities, you know, moving some of the, you know, uncut sheets, things like that. And it just kind of grew from there. And now I'm lucky enough to, you know, own DiTullio Art Collective. I kind of did it part-time with just Simone, and then I kind of went in full-time. I then, you know, launched Simone Di Mio. We're going on 2.5 years now, and then I launched Assad at the beginning of this year. So, you know, it's been a journey, but really it's been from collector, you know, from fan to collector to partner to owning my own, you know, art representation, art dealing business. And it's been a long journey, but couldn't be more thankful for the team that I have, you know, the people that trust me to sell their art and to represent their work properly, and always try to just put, you know, artist first, client first, myself second, and, you know, seems to work out pretty well. So I'm just going to try to keep chugging along at that rate. Oh, calls out. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I remember that piece.
Yeah, very cool. Man, that's beautifully said. And what a journey. That's so cool, man. That's so cool.
It's been yeah, a long time. And, you know, when I was repping Simone Bianchi, but I didn't have anybody else, and I really wanted to get into this, I sold, as I mentioned, my, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh card collection, my Pokemon card collection, right after like the Jake Paul and Logic crazy sales for the Charizards. You know, I sold everything and started investing in original art, and it took me about 18 months to amass an inventory of 150 to 200 pieces, design the website, file for the trademarks, get the DBA, all the things that need to be done. So it was a long-term project, which really took a lot of patience, and had to realize doing this might mean that my personal collection was going to suffer for a little bit. I wasn't going to be able to just continue to buy the things that I wanted to buy for me, because I wanted to, do it as a business. And that really, it was tough when that was going on, but to work towards a long-term goal for almost about 2 years, taught me a lot. Patience, setbacks, some things went faster than others, some things took much longer, but wouldn't be here if it wasn't for each step of the way. So I'm thankful for how it's gone up to this point, and thankful for how it's going to go into the future for however long it keeps going, because I absolutely love doing what I do. So can't really complain.
Nice. I got to see Simone DiMeo and Assad at New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
Very cool. Amazing works. Great guys. I actually have a man thing done by Simone that
the blue one, right?
Yeah, he did it for OAX.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Looking forward to seeing you guys at OAX. Simone Bianchi is one of my favorite people to follow on socials.
Yeah, he's a wild man.
Yeah, he's just, you might be having a crappy day at work, and then you pop on one of his quick little videos, and he just makes you just like, that was funny. That's funny as hell. I'm smiling now.
Yeah, he's truly one of a kind, and I'm really excited for OAX as well, because this will be the first year the first event, that the whole DAC team will be at once. So it'll be Assad, Simone, and Simone for the first time since I launched Assad in January. So it'll be really cool to have all three of them there, and have that be at OAX. It'll be a special thing. Thanks, Tim. Happy for you too, man. You're doing awesome stuff. I'm proud of you.
Yes, Tim is a great fan of the show. I've got to meet Tim in person. He's a good friend. Very happy of the journey he's on. Make sure you keep looking out for his work and upcoming sets and stuff, man.
He's doing
search for his sketch cards.
He's doing it. I shout out Off-White Tim.
Yeah, shout out. Check him out on Instagram. Great stuff. So yeah, like you were saying before, it's so funny. There's so many outlets, and the road eventually leads to OA. I started with sketch cards. And to me, I'm like, this is original art. It's original sketch card art. You know what I mean? It's just small. And then some artists can make a beautiful painting on a very small card, and it's insane. So I PC man thing. So I like to test artists and be like, do a man thing. And if they can do a crazy card, I'm going to eventually get, try to commission a larger piece. Cause I'm like, what can they do with a bigger piece?
Exactly. And when I first started, sketch cards weren't really, what's up, PJ? I wasn't really like in tune to the card community. I got turned on to the card community solely because of Simone doing Marvel Masterpiece 2018. So I didn't even know like sketch cards were a thing, and I was collecting for, comics, Pokemon cards, like that type of stuff. But I didn't know like sketch cards with original art on them. I knew trading cards, but I didn't really know about any of the inserts or any of the rules. So I had to learn all that. Where I started was blank covers. I felt like, all right, kind of similar to you. I'm like, I personally collect Black Bolt. He's my personal collection. I'll get 8.5 by 11 blank, like Inhumans cover or Inhumans versus X-Men cover, see how it looks. And then if I like it, I'll either commission them to do an 11 by 17 or see if they have any covers with these characters. But like, not everybody's, if you're able to just dive right in and buy a cover, God bless. But that's not normally like, I'll never forget the first cover I bought. It was $2,500. And I felt like I was like handing over 25 bars of gold. I was like so nervous. And it was like, at that time it was, a lot of money for me, still is a lot of money now. And I was like, shaken, because you could go up at that time to a convention and you could get an artist to do a blank, sketch cover for $300 or $200. So I was like, man, it's a published cover. It has my favorite character on it, blah, 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 blah. But I remember like, going from blank covers to, 11 by 17 commissions to pages to, fuller, cover quality, maybe large art commissions, and then buying covers. And it's, it's just your gradual steps to get there.
Yeah, it's that progression. That's for sure. I'm feeling it. I'd love to get I'm actually picking up a corner box from Next Comic Art, a published corner box of Man Things.
Jiggy.
Yeah. Very cool. Medina, I think it's Medina. So that'll be fun to pick up. That'll be my first comic piece for Man Thing that's published. I have a Dan DeSantos preliminary from Upper Deck of Man Thing 2022. So but yeah, I want to get I'm getting there too. You know what I mean? I also have a Oliver. What's Oliver's last name? I apologize. He did the Rocket Raccoon from Marvel Flair 2023. Oliver Harbor. I have his preliminary sketch of Rocket that they used for the card. So yeah, I'm getting there. I got to go from preliminary sketches to published OA.
Absolutely. And Tim, I remember that, brother. Years later, we did get you that Thanos piece, though. We did. It was worth the wait. Thank you. Yeah, that was. I'm glad we could make it work out.
Absolutely. And Lewis went to that Bianchi thing with Tim, right?
Yes.
That's how I'm familiar with it. That was cool. They got to open the cards with Bianchi. That was awesome, man.
Yeah, it's and he's one of the people that you want to do it with. He's gonna be he's true one of a kind, as I said earlier. So he always brings a different level of fun to doing things like that. I just spent 10 days with him in Singapore, and he's like that all the time. It's not just when he's opening cards on a stream or that's just who he is. So he's a joy to be around. He's one of my closest friends and very lucky to hang out with him. He's just a riot.
I can say from just my quick interaction with him at OAX, he was in the middle of doing a commission, a bigger piece for somebody. I just walked by. I was picking up my card from DeMeo and you for the this piece.
Yep.
And he stopped doing what he was doing. He actually broke into conversation with us, and I was like, I don't mean to bother you, you know what I mean? Marvel Masterpieces artist, you know what I mean? And he was such a joy. And I was like, oh, wow, I got to actually one day just one OAX. I'm going to try to just get something big maybe or something.
Yeah, man.
Focus small. Instead of getting 17 sketch cards in a 5x9 or something or 5x7, I want a cover piece.
Listen, we're gonna do whatever we can for you to make it happen. But my favorite Simone Bianchi line, and it's like every time he says it still makes me laugh, is somebody comes over and is like, oh, like, I love your work. And then they buy something. He's like, you're a man of great taste. You're a woman of great taste. Like he's, it's just like, that's his like favorite line. They're like, oh, like, Simone, I loved your work on Thanos. He's like, me too. That you're a person of great taste. I appreciate that. Like, but he really means it. Like, cause he's passionate about his work and he loves doing it. So, when you see his stuff on social media where he's, shredding the pencil and flaring the paint everywhere and doing that, like, that's how he works every day. And, that's pretty much it for him. And he's, outgoing and, gregarious and hilarious. And then, DeMeo is much more kind of reserved and quiet. And he's working in his studio listening to like Naruto or lo-fi or, something like that. And, Bianchi's listening to like, Def Leppard while he's painting or whatever it is. It's, it's a very interesting, dynamic of the different ones. And it's fun having different artists and, seeing the way they work, their techniques, how fast they are, their speed, paint, watercolor, acrylic, marker. It's so cool for me because I'm still a collector at the end of the day too. So I'm so thankful to get to watch these guys create, every time. I've seen Simone Bianchi paint Spider-Man literally probably 75 times. And every time he paints it, I'm still blown away. I've seen DeMeo draw Batman probably 100 times. Every time he does it, it's a new twist and looks so cool. And, I've seen Assad paint Thor a bunch of times. Every time he does it, it blows me away because I can't do like a smidge of any of that. And it just like comes out of him. It's so cool to watch.
Yeah. I mean, Bianchi is definitely got one of a kind touch. I mean, I love he's spitting on it, smacking it with a blow dryer. I'm like, oh my god,
a lot of techniques. You'll see like videos where he's like got the paintbrush, and then he like takes out like another paintbrush and he just starts like whacking it, and like, you know, all the paint's flying everywhere, and like it's just going like everywhere in his studio. It's going, you know, on the table, on the wall. Like, it's no problem. It's fine. His dog's like below him running around. He's got 2 dogs, Oliver and Luna, and they're zooming around the studio. He, you know, it's just a controlled chaos. It, you know, that ends up turning out amazing. So
yes, it does. It's very fun to watch.
Yep.
That's very, I could only imagine, you know, you getting to see that stuff all the time. That's very cool.
It's very cool.
And he comes over to hang out when he comes to America. He stays with you, right? You guys hang out. That's cool.
I'm very lucky. You know, the team that I have, we all get along very well, which is nice. And we all enjoy spending time together. So, you know, when the Simones come for, wow, what's up, Lewis? We were just, you know, together in August. They came in for Fan Expo Toronto. I live very close to Toronto and Buffalo, right by the border. So, you know, they come in a little early. Bianchi brought his son, Sebastian. We went out salmon fishing. You know, we went out, tried a bunch of different chicken wing places. You know, DeMio was in 3 weeks before that when we did Fan Expo Boston. So DeMio brought him and his girlfriend. They ended up staying with me for a month, and Bianchi and his son ended up staying for 2 weeks. And, you know, having the 2 Italian guys in like a little small town in upstate New York, we did a signing with DeMio at like a local comic shop in Buffalo, like had a great turnout. Like the comic shop owner was like so thankful. Simone loved doing it, you know, meeting a bunch of like local fans. Then Bianchi came in, spent some time together. So it's, you know, it's cool. Like my wife cooked like family dinner for us, you know, 4 or 5 nights in a row, just sat around. And the best part about that for me is when they're here, this is my art room, and that back there is all full of portfolios, and they like sit down in my living room and just take out my collection or inventory. And they're like, I like this one. This one, not so much. Look at the technique on this one, and like just listening to them talk, like I just learn stuff. Like I just learn, you know, artist perspective, you know, technique, how they talk about the art, how they dissect it. Like, you know, when I look at something, I look at the whole thing. And when they look at it, the first thing they go to is like the position of the hand, because they know how hard that is to do or whatever it is. So just kind of hearing that stuff is like one of my favorite things about being around them, other than that they're my friends as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's legendary, man. That's so cool. So, you know, you've mentioned previously that you want to build a community through your art collective. So how would you define your mission and philosophy for DiTullio Art Collective?
Oof, it's a great question. I'm not a big, like, you know, mission state or ethos person. I kind of, you know, I kind of try to keep it as very simple as possible. Like my goal is just to link. I always say this, like sometimes like art has a home. Like art, it's a business, buying, selling, trading. It's a passion. It's a business. If you can make money, you know, from your passion, that's awesome. But sometimes there's these cases, at least for me, where, you know, the moment or where a piece is supposed to go can surpass the business. And yeah, I always say art has a home. Like maybe it was like resting here for a while, but then it ends up in its home. And I know the joy I got from when I was collecting and I would go and pick up a commission or meet an artist for the first time and pick up the piece, and it was like perfect, or the commission blew me away more than I thought it was going to be, or the artist was so kind to me. And then I had experiences where it didn't go that way. And, you know, those were always kind of a letdown, or I felt like sad or something that it didn't go maybe the way it was. And my goal from an art rep standpoint is to build a community where, you know, great art goes to great people. It goes to the proper homes. Everybody tries to be kind and understanding, and you can collect the way you want to collect. I think that's the DiTullio Art Collective mantra. If you want to like go to that, is you should collect the way you want to collect and never let anybody sway you on what you want to collect, how you want to collect it, or when you can, you know, when you can collect it. I think sometimes people get swept up in hype trains or first appearances or possible value. And at the end of the day, when we first started it, we started it because we loved it and we loved to collect. So of course you want to, you know, collect something for investment. I do it a lot, but I also buy Power Ranger stuff or, you know, Naruto stuff. And I think it's very important for anybody that, you know, looks at the DiTullio Art Collective website or gets into collecting in general, is like, collect what you like to collect, enjoy it, and build your collection based on what brings you joy, not what anybody else tells you. So that's kind of, you know, my goal is you just enjoy collecting. You like the way other people collect. You want to buy some great art or some animation cells, or just hang out and be a part of a community. You can always, you know, in any DiTullio Art Collective post, comments, Collector's Cast show that I host for the comic art fans, YouTube channel, anything like that, that's the spot for you. It's just open, fun, and it's like-minded, you know, collectors. It's just collectors are we're our own special people in our own way, because we're all the same but very different. You know, you collect Man-Thing and I collect Black Bolt, probably two C characters for what people would say. And like, I'm probably the only person that would take Spider-Man off his wall to put up Black Bolt, and I wouldn't even think twice about it.
There you go. I'm there with you.
Yeah, why do you collect him and not Wolverine? Wolverine's always going to be good for resale. Well,
I'd get rid of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I love it, and it's my favorite character. I can't. It's just where I'm at, and that's what I love to collect.
Well said, and wise words about your mantra. But yeah, I would sell that Spider-Man and get some crazy Man-Thing.
I'll sell Spider-Man and Venom to get Black Bolt and you know, Scarlet Witch. Sure. You know,
there you go, man. Yeah. True PC collectors at heart.
Yeah, and of course for me, that's, I think the balancing act for me sometimes is like, it's very hard for me because I love Simone, and Desaad, and I get to see these pieces sometimes, and like they're around me a lot, and I'm like, all right, you shouldn't buy that one. Like, yeah, it's been, you know, you've been staring at it for a little bit. You don't need that one, you know, like that's okay. But it's, I've really tried more recently. When I first started collecting, you know, I was just buying a lot of stuff and I was just into it. Which I wouldn't take those years back, but obviously now I am a little bit more focused. I have like, you know, for my personal collection, I tried to, you know, narrow it down into like brackets. So my first one is Black Bolt. He's my like 1A. He's a male character that's, you know, near and dear to me. Then I realized like I didn't have any female representation in my collection. So I chose my favorite female character, which was the Scarlet Witch, and my wife loves her. So that was a plus. Then I was like, all right, I should probably get a couple like other subcategories of things I like. And then it was like anime art. I collect Kakashi from Naruto. And then I went into a little bit of like B characters, and my B characters are Dr. Doom and Namor. And like that is now what I try to collect inside the comic world. And then in the fantasy world, I collect Death Dealer. So I have those kind of like brackets for my personal collection and try to stay in those now. Because if you just start buying, you know, the collection can get out of hand pretty quickly. So I kind of pared down some other stuff, and then yeah. So I kind of just tried to pare down and focus on those categories there.
Nice.
But yeah, you know, it's, again, that's just how I collect. I know some people collect, you know, all of the X-Men or just one of them, and you should be able to collect any way you want. You know what I mean? I think that's what makes it really such a unique hobby and industry.
Yes, absolutely. Collect what you want, how you want, and what you love. That's
Casper and me and you, the most eclectic group: MODOK, Man-Thing, and Black Bolt.
There you go.
Wow, look at us.
That's funny. Yeah, I was like, I never even knew before OAX he was a MODOK collector, and I was like, oh, all right, yeah, that's funny. I was like, I don't really know anyone.
When you find it, yeah, that's what I was just about to say. When you find a guy that says the person they collect, and you're like, never knew about that, never thought anybody would collect that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It sticks though. It sticks because every time I see a good MODOK sketch or a piece, I'm like, oh, Cosmo would probably be into that.
That's one thing I will say too, is like the community is also very cool, and it's like, you know if I see a Man-Thing piece, like I'll forward it over to you, or like if you know a Black Bolt piece gets posted at an upcoming auction or on CAF. First off, I have my keyword set on CAF, so I get a notification right to my phone when it goes on sale.
Nice.
But you know, back before that, I would get people like, oh, go check this Facebook group. Somebody posted a Black Bolt sketch. And like, you know, it's awesome when people think of you, you know, tied with that character. So like, you know, I don't know if there's going to be like, you know, 5 Matts that all like Man-Thing, but right now you're the only one I know. So it's good.
Word. I think so. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure they're out there. You know, it's funny because I wish I had more money, but I've had opportunities to buy Man-Thing Marvel Masterpiece pieces.
I
Actually,
didn't want to bring it up. Did you see that the Man-Thing was just for sale at Heritage?
yeah, I did. I saw that. Yep.
Yeah, crazy.
I did. I seen it. It was beautiful. Yeah, but I didn't have enough money. I could have got the joke. Well, not guaranteed, but I was offered to get the Juiceco down in Florida, but I couldn't swing that money. And then I was actually offered after OAX the Dave Palumbo OA piece from.
Ooh, that one's really cool, actually.
Yeah, it was a really cool piece, but I couldn't swing that one at the time. And I in hindsight, I was like, I probably should have grabbed it because the price was really good.
Yeah,
Price was very fair, and I was like, oh man, I probably never get it for that. I know where it is. I know where they are. So.
Well, yeah, as long as you can keep an eye on it, you know what I mean? But it also, you know, you deserve a pat on the back because, you know, one of the things that I feel like sometimes early in collecting, and, you know, I'm not saying you're early collecting in your journey, but I think we're all pretty early right now because we're going to collect for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, like for me, I had to learn very early, like not every piece is for you. And like sometimes it's not the right financial time. You got, you know, other stuff coming up. I remember one time a Bianchi cover came up that I really wanted. It was one of his early Thor covers. And I had literally like just booked a vacation and like just paid it all. Like, you know, had the credit card bill right to the max, like paid that all off. Like, and it was like a day after I paid it off and it came up for sale. And I was like, it's just not the right time. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Wise man.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Those moments are tough. You're like,
yeah,
but it happens sometimes.
Yeah, well, I totally feel you. The Juiceco, that was a hefty price. You know what I mean? Which was totally fair for it. But
yeah,
the Palumbo was. I mean, I really could have got it, and the only reason I couldn't get it is because I had to get my son a car because he got his driver's license.
There you go. I mean, that's like your son. No offense, your son's not going to drive the painting.
No. He won't. But I was like, you know, could have been a bad dad. but it was fun. It was, and again, it was the community that reached out to me and told me about those two opportunities, and plenty of other times with Sketchcards. So
yeah,
the community is amazing. I was originally brought into the Marvel card community, and now there's the like CAF community, and it's just like, oh man, everyone's just so cool and welcoming, and it's so kind, and will answer questions or point you in the right direction. So it's definitely something to check out if you're not into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, like that's what's cool about it is there's so many like sub branches of collecting. You know, you have cards and you have art and you have comics and you have animation and you have illustration. You have we're at a very lucky time of collecting where a lot of this stuff is around and, you know, available. And you know, I think you would have loved to have the Man-Thing, but getting your son the car is, you know, more important. So, you know, I think like I said earlier, sometimes it like works out the way it's supposed to, and you'll get something down the road. And I kind of tried to adopt that mentality. Like when a great page would come up and I'd miss out or something, I'd just say, well, that one wasn't for me. I'll find the one I'll find's coming, you know? So I try to just keep that going forward.
Yep. Yeah. Or it's not the time and it may come around again. So you never know. Yep. You never know.
Oh yeah.
So you're focusing on Italian artists. Is there any artists in Italy or that area that you're up and coming that you may want to add to your team, or you're happy with the 3 artists?
Oof, well, it's a great question. Yeah, it just happened to work out that the first 2 were Italian, to be honest. Wasn't planned that way. Or that both their names were the same. But I think for me, everybody has different, you know, approaches and how they want to grow their business or what they want to do. And I've had, you know, some artists approach me, and I have some artists on the list. But I think for me, the most important thing is to fully understand what each artist I have on the team expects of me, what their timing is, what their rate is, how fast they can move, when they want to take commissions, what their technique is, what paints they use, what brushes they use, you know, how they prefer to get paid. Like there's all different things you have to get used to first. And my thing is I kind of like to take on an artist and have a full year with them. So I launched Assad in, you know, February of this year. So right now, you know, there's a couple people on the list for sure, but I think the most important thing is making it through a full year with each artist to make sure we're on the same wavelength. You know, that we're kind of just, I almost don't need to check with them, but I still do anyway. And they're just like, yep, exactly. Or, you know, I can send over a plan and they say, yep, go ahead. Because one thing I never want to lose, you know, sight of is that like these guys are trusting me to sell like their work, like the things that they put like their blood, sweat, and tears in, pays their bills, helps their family. So I have an immense amount of like respect for that trust. So I think for me, the most important thing is before I bring on another person is to be like completely fluid with the people that I have now, to not sacrifice anything, you know, on their end. So, you know, I think after February, I'll kind of open that conversation up. But, you know, nothing that I'd be willing to commit to now, but I think it's the team. I would love to add maybe 1 or 2 more, but that would probably be it. I think maybe 5 would probably be, you know, top line for me. Because I always want to be able to provide all the information that whatever client asks, you know, that I can give back to them. And I don't want to lose that good customer service aspect.
Nice. That's great to hear as a collector.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, keep it small, but
I will say like Italian artists that I would say to like watch out for, that they're not on my team. But I would tell you that they're just incredible. Are Alessandro Capuccio. He's very good. He's a Marvel Stormbreaker this year. And he's a pencil and ink artist. And the painter, I would say, is Fabrizio De Tomaso. He's a Italian painter. I think both of them are with Scott's Collectibles, actually. If you're looking for their art, you can go check them out. But they're 2 very, very talented Italian artists that I've personally been watching for the past couple of years that are just doing great stuff.
Very cool. Keep a lookout. I'm going to check them out myself. That's very cool. I always love adding a new artist to my Instagram viewing.
Yeah. And what Tim said is like very important as well, because, you know, each of them masters the different media. I also, you know, have to keep in mind with the artist as well. Like, I don't want to have 3 watercolor painters, because there's a watercolor painter selection, and then it starts to eat into, you know, cannibalizing each other's businesses and this and that. So I kind of want to make sure you keep it like, I'm very lucky now where it's like acrylic painter, you know, pencil and ink, kind of new school, and then watercolor and gouache with Assad. You know, so I like to try to have diversity as far as long with the roster. Now, a little overlap's fine, but I think if you just have, you know, 5 painters and you offer no pencil and ink work, it's, you know, you're only catering to the painted market at that point. So, you know, trying to have each artist have their own medium is important. So I appreciate Tim saying that.
Yeah, that's a great point. Got to diversify.
Yeah, exactly. It's like stocks, baby.
That's it. Very cool. Very cool. Is there like any upcoming pieces, covers, or projects that you're excited about for your artists?
Well, right now I'm very excited for Simone DiMeo. He's doing X-Men of Apocalypse with Jeff Loeb. It's his first Marvel interior work. Are you looking at any oil painters? It's a great question. Possibly. But I think Simone, I'm very proud of X-Men, because he came from Batman and Robin. He had never done any X-Men work. He had never seen these characters. And then, you know, Age of Apocalypse was something really popular in the 90s. They had a very specific look about him. Joe Mad is an artist that was like the kid dynamo at the time. He couldn't do anything. He was still, you know, younger at the time, but he couldn't do anything wrong. He was like very, very impressive. So Simone felt like he had a little bit of big shoes to fill, but he's done a great job. We sold the first issue live on Comic Art Fans page by page. We had like an 85% sellout or 90% sellout. Now, I think from the first issue, the alpha, it was 30 pages and we have 3 left. The second issue, the first issue, which was the second one, sold complete. Somebody bought the entire issue, all original from page 1 to page 18.
Wow.
And now the third one coming up, we're going to be having debut at OAX. So we're going to kind of have a live show, bought complete, and then debut, you know, at OAX at a convention. So very proud of him, because it's a lot of work to keep up. with Marvel, with those demands and the time frame, and to do an interior book, you know, monthly. I think sometimes not the collectors don't realize how hard that is and how much time it takes for them to hit those deadlines and how much, you know, their lives are restricted at that point. So I'm very proud of him. And then Bianchi, he's got some great stuff coming for OAX. I've seen a couple things that he's painting, so very excited there. And Assad has a new cover coming out, and I'll just say it's a Thor cover. And it's very good to see him back on Thor, because his is one of my favorites. So can't say for what issue or what series, but you guys will be seeing it soon, and it's absolutely incredible. So that's kind of you know, each one of their, you know, highlights for right now.
Oh, those are great, man. Congratulations to you and your artists. That's awesome. That's something cool to look out for. Thor.
Thanks.
Assad does a great Thor. So
yeah, like there's just some guys that just like have, you know, their version. And like when I think of Thor, I actually think of like Kirby first, probably just because that's the image that, you know, the very early like Journey into Mystery stuff. But then after that, I go to like Assad's Thor. Just really incredible.
Yeah, I got to see some stuff through the books at your table at New York Comic Con. I was just like, oh man, I wasn't too familiar with his work, so it was great to see his pieces up there.
He is an absolute beast. He's incredible. He's probably, you know, one of the most like fluid painters I've ever seen at a convention. He can just sit down, no pencil. Somebody can just come up and be like, I want Loki. He's like, okay. And he just starts painting. And like you come back 2 hours later, it's done. Like he is just incredible, because like watercolors and gouache at a convention is really hard, like for the most people. And that's just his pencil and ink. That's just his, you know, where he lives, and his paintings are just incredible. I love adding him to the team was a really, really cool honor. But also, like, I love what he brought as far as the watercolor aspect of it, because it was definitely something that I know the market loves, and like he's one of the top guys at it.
Yeah, master of his craft.
PJ, for sure, dude. Here, I'll show you this one. I bought this one for me, for my personal collection, but this painting is just insane.
Oh.
So it's Fantastic Four #6, and this is just an overlay.
Oh, that's cool though. Wow. Wow, look at the eyes, man.
Like he literally looks like he's staring at you. Yeah. I couldn't pass this piece up. And like the shadows on the rivets, it's just like an absolutely incredible piece. The guy this is just absolutely wild.
That's incredible, man. Thank you for sharing. That's a beautiful piece. I like the overlay thing, though. That's really cool.
The overlay's cool, right? You know,
hell yeah.
Goes on
it. That came with it?
Somebody bought the cover and then had that made. Like there's some guys that will make those. It's like a piece of like I don't know, like a really, really thin plastic. And then they actually paint the logos over it, either like with a printer, or some guy will do it by hand, and then it just flaps over.
That's really cool. What an incredible piece, though, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow. So that's great. So you're not just a representative, you know, you're a collector yourself.
For sure.
What trends are you noticing lately in the original art market?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm noticing that every time there's a heritage auction, there's a new record breaking sale.
Oh yeah.
Which is for me, in my opinion, it's a good thing. You know what I mean? You know, the economy is not exactly what it once was a little bit ago, and the auctions aren't tanking. If anything, they're moving stronger in some areas. I know like comic books has seen a dip in the past a little bit. Trading cards is always kind of high and low. And one of the things I know is like about original art is that this trend that we're seeing of, you know, things steadily climbing. I think it's going to continue. I just think there's a lot of people out there that really value these things and understand that they are just the one of one. They're the, you know, source material.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've noticed that comic book art is starting to garner more respect, more notoriety in some of these bigger auction houses and some of these reporting sites. And you're seeing, you know, The guy from Metallica just put up his Frank Frazetta for like 10.5 million. One of Frazetta earlier this year sold for like 13 million. So I think, you know, you're starting to see some crazy numbers, but then I also love that you can still catch a deal every once in a while. So it's still a cool place, you know, place to be as far as a collecting market. But I think the trends of seeing slow, steady increase on these higher end, you know, covers, I think something we'll continue to see as well. Like even modern comic art has started to climb. But, you know, Silver Age and, you know, high end Silver Age covers, I don't think we're going to see decreases in value anytime soon.
Nice. Nice. What do you think people misunderstand about prices, value, or rarity?
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there. There's a lot that's misunderstood about it. I think sometimes the one thing I always say is like, well, I wouldn't pay for that, but somebody did. You know, I think it's always worth whatever someone is willing to pay for it. And because one thing sold for a lot of money doesn't mean that the one similar like that is going to sell for a lot of money. So I think that's one thing that may be the biggest misunderstanding, is that when one outlier example happens of a sale, and then you have something similar, that yours is immediately worth that value. That's kind of something that I see that happens a lot. And like, if you can get it, great. And if not, then yours is just still worth exactly what it says in the beginning, whatever somebody is willing to pay. And sometimes you have to realize when somebody sets a price that maybe is the I don't want to sell it price, that's their right to sell it at that price because they own it. And that's what I think makes the original art community so intriguing and fun, is like, you know where that man thing is. You didn't buy it, but you know where it is. You know what I mean? And you'd be willing to make an offer for it, and maybe somebody would hear and go, oh, okay. Where sometimes some of these things, you know, just get thrown into a safety deposit box if it's a trading card or, you know, something like that. So I think maybe that's a little bit of a misconception. It's just like perceived value in general.
Got it. That's great advice. Talking about advice, what advice would you give new collectors walking into original art?
Brace yourself.
Strap your wallet.
Exactly. No, I think the main thing is what I said earlier, is the first thing I would always say to anybody getting into any hobby, but especially like original art or any collection type of deal, is like, do your research. It's very important to do your research. Second, I would say shop around. You know, there's a very easy way to get like locked in on something when you're very new into collecting, and you might realize that this one's here, but something similar is over here for half the price. So I would say, you know, do your research, shop around. And then the last thing is collect the way you want to collect, you know, buy what you want to buy, and try to stay focused early. You know, like I said, it's very early. It's very easy to get locked in on something early and then kind of go all in on it, you know, and then diversify from there. Or, you know, you kind of get crazy, or you only stick in one thing, and just take a step back and, you know, see what you're doing. I have a like 3 or 4 pieces over here that are in my collection that I've bought over the last, like, I don't know, 8 years. And I have like 3 or 4. I'm like, why did I buy this? What did I buy this for? I wish somebody would have told me like, hey, you just can slow down a little bit. Like, you don't need to buy this. But I think, you know, that would be something I would say early, is like, not every piece is for you. Slow down a little bit and just do your research and collect what you want to collect.
There you go. That's great. Yeah. I don't know why, but Eric Grove was on the stream not too long ago. What's good, Eric? Thanks for coming on. And he said something funny, and it stuck with me. And I don't know why, but certain scenarios it pops in. But and I guess this kind of fits. Don't go thick too quick.
Hey, wise words. Those are wise words.
Don't go too heavy in it. You know, know what's right when it's right. You know,
exactly. And it's
don't max out that credit card with 28% credit.
It's easy to get caught up. I'm telling you right now, it's easy to get caught up. So, yeah,
sure. Yeah, you got to be responsible.
But enjoy it though. You know, that's the big thing, I think, is like, it always goes back to whatever, collect how you want to collect and enjoy it. You know, if that's what you're doing, and you're buying like crazy and you enjoy it and you can do it, go for it. You know what I mean? God,
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah. I was watching that those absolute Batman sales, man. I was like, oh my God, those pieces are going for so much money. It was incredible. That's which is awesome to see because that comic reinvigorated me back into like going to my LCS and looking for the new comic back in. And so I actually just today got the Third Eye Comics exclusive for Absolute Batman 15, which is Joker's first appearance. So
is that the one with like the sideways lizard?
I know
is the Joker like a lizard now? Kind of. He's like
he is, but I'm not really too big of a fan, so that's why I got this cover. I'll show you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I saw a picture of the Absolute Joker, and he looks like a lizard.
Yeah, I mean, it fits the storyline, and it's such an incredible story.
I haven't read it, so.
Oh my God, you gotta read it, man.
Man, I don't know.
It's so
not
good,
a DC
dude.
guy. Sorry.
But I like this one because it's kind of a traditional Joker. I mean, it's not, but you'll see why. It's got this wild Venom vibe to it. But this was let me just make myself bigger real quick. So it's this one right here.
Oh yeah.
That one's fire, man.
Venom vibe for sure with the teeth. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Venom, but I like the purple and green eyes, man. I was like, oh, that's fire. That's fire. So I was happy. That came today. Yeah. But yeah, the one that side profile where he's like this lizard thing, I'm like, I get it. It fits the story because what's going on. But
yeah,
it's crazy. Such a crazy
design for Absolute Bane was awesome.
Yo, that was such a great arc in the story. It was insane. If you guys haven't read that, you gotta read it. Killer Croc, yo, gotta watch that. Gotta read it, gotta get into it. It's awesome. Yeah, Death Note vibes. It's sick. Absolute Batman's like OP, yo. He's serious, man. He's probably one of my favorite iterations of Batman. I mean,
you'll see it at OAX. Bianchi is painting one.
Oh,
it's his first time ever painting Absolute Batman, and I'm excited to see how it turns out because I think he could do something really cool.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's really cool. Yeah, I tried to get in on a Simone sketch card, but I didn't click fast enough. I didn't click fast enough.
Well, sorry, brother.
It's okay. It's 2027.
Yeah, hey, we'll open up something in the middle of the year, and I promise I'll save you a spot.
Sneak right in there. Like, hello. Because I'm down, bro. I'm down. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't get it because I was going to redo my character. And I didn't want to piss him off if he already thought of a character. So I was like,
what character were you going to do versus what you picked?
So obviously I want a man thing from him. That's what I want. But for some reason, I was like, when I was first entering everything, I was like, I don't know if I want to get man thing because I did whole man thing last year. I'm trying to do like more of a DC maybe thing for this year. So I was like, I'll get him to do Joker, which I thought he would do a sick Joker.
Yeah, he loves doing the Joker.
Awesome. So I was like, he'll do a cool Joker. But then as time went on, I was like, maybe I want a man thing from him. Yeah, he's like, I need a man thing from him. But I'm going to focus for 2027 or maybe 2020. Future goals.
Yeah,
and eventually I want a comic cover piece, like something that's comic cover quality. You know what I mean? So that's what I'd be looking for.
We'll take care of you because I would like to see that too. Anytime that I can get a commission started that like when I hear the character request or when I see it come in, I'm like, oh, I got to take this right to Simone and see if he has any free time because we got a couple of one for OAX this year that I'm excited about. Let me see. Oh, it's like a DC guy, like like Sergeant Rock, like the Commando.
Okay,
yeah. Like somebody's got a full figure.
Oh wow,
Sergeant Rock, like DC, and he wants like the chain bullets and like the gun, and like I'm excited to see how Simone does that because I would never choose that character or think of him. And then the other one that I was pumped about is DeMio's got a One Piece. which I think he's gonna like kill. So I can't wait to
That's
like
cool.
see, you know, when I hear like stylistic choices come in, and then Bianchi's got a superior Spider-Man, like the Humberto Ramos design. So that'll be cool, like just a different take. But it's I love, you know, one of my coolest part of my job is getting to, you know, help a guy like you who collects a certain thing get that commission, and like I like know the feeling. So when I like see other people like have it, I'm like so happy because I enjoy it so much.
Word. That's awesome. That's got to be so gratifying, you know, like,
yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. And you know, I always thought about that too, especially during the mystery sketch event. I was like, oh, imagine the requests you guys get to see come in, and then when you're mailing everything out, you get to see these pieces. I was like, oh, it'd be so hard for me to be like, oh man, I want to keep that one.
That's one of the hardest parts, is like when I get a shipment from Croatia, or like I see Simone and I come back from, you know, Singapore and I have their work. I'm like, this is so much cool new stuff, and I want some of it, but like I shouldn't buy any of this. That's a hard to be financially responsible when you're just surrounded by the art.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's got to be a great feeling though if you got it all spread out.
It is pretty cool. Like it was really great when DeMio's complete book sold. I like filled up an entire portfolio of like each individual page, and then I like wrapped the portfolio, put that in, you know, some like hard casing, then put that in a box. And like I was like, somebody like this, you know, my artist's work and my friend's work enough to like want to own the original whole book. And like now this guy gets to like tell his friends like, hey, you know that book that we like went and bought from the comic store? I own every page. We can like read the original together.
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
It's such a cool like full circle thing to do, because like I would love to own a complete book. That would be like a personal goal of mine. Owning a complete story and being like, that issue that came off the rack, like I have the full thing, is such a cool thing to say. That's so cool.
Yeah, I could only imagine how cool that is.
Yeah.
I have 3 pages from the same comic for Man Thing.
You're already off to a great start.
I am. I mean, it's the R.L. Stein run, so but I like Herman Peralta did the Man Thing. It's like a great artist and great art. So I'm a huge fan of the art. The story's garbage, but the art is insane. So I'm like, oh, I gotta keep going, because you know, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna get as much as I can from it. So we'll see.
Yeah, Herman's a great artist. His stuff is, you know, again, you want to talk about when people say like maybe you're priced out or the market's going crazy. Like he's an artist that is very reasonable and like I think underappreciated. Like his stuff is great. And maybe it's like he hasn't been on the proper story, or he didn't do Spider-Man or whatever, but like the quality of his art is amazing.
Yeah,
his stuff is phenomenal. He's a great painter. He's a great pencil and ink guy. Are the pages that you got painted, or are they pencil and ink?
No, they're just pencil and ink splash pages.
Nice. Yeah, beautiful.
I have a piece from him. What, I don't even know what size that is. I think it's a B4. I think it's the official size.
Yeah,
it's a weird big size. I had to get a frame from Asia. I wasn't, you know, I was expect. I mean, I'm sure you know. We're gonna talk about it, but I was like, maybe I'll get a custom frame for it. And I was like, I can't afford that right now. So I had to order something off Amazon. And I was like, there's nothing.
Get to the framing portion, because I'll tell you, it's wild.
I know. I'm not ready for that, man. I'm scared. I'm like, oh, these prices are like, oh, hey, prices.
It's tough. But like all my stuff, I have a really great framer locally. I'm very lucky. My wife lets me treat the house like a museum. We just have original art on every wall in the whole house. Her room is, I built her an entire closet, like a big walk-in closet, and she loves the Scarlet Witch, so she gets all the Scarlet Witches. So anytime I go anywhere and I get a new Scarlet Witch piece, we either take one down or, you know, put a new one up on the wall if there's room. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff in portfolios, but I like to display the art. It makes me happy. So I'm very into the framing portion of it. And you got to get museum quality glass. So if it gets, you know, 99% UV resistant, so the piece is never going to fade because you want to take care of it. Then I like having all the mats the same color for the same character. And then I like having all the same frames. So my local framer, I used to just bring him like piece by piece, and he would always give me, you know, after the first couple months, a nice deal on them. but some of them are A3, some of them are 11 by 17, 16 by 20, 11 by 14. So finally he was like, gave me a great idea. He's like, hey, how about I'll like give you like 30% off if you just buy like the whole box of the framing, like of the outside frame. Like just buy it and I'll store it here. And then I can just like custom make you the one this time. So I basically, instead of buying a piece, I saved up my money to buy like $2,500 worth of the frame. And he like stored it for me. Yeah, so I did it. It ended up being like $5,000 because I did 2,500 of the Black Bolt one and 2,500 of the Death Dealer one. And the Black Bolt is the same one as the Scarlet Witch, the same frame. But like I spent $5,000 in framing, but it saved me so much money because when you get into custom framing each individual piece and you have to order it each time, it gets expensive. So I am a collector that likes to put their stuff in frames. But there's also, you know, an expense that comes with that. A couple of my buddies are strictly portfolio collectors. They keep stuff just in portfolios, but they love to take their portfolios out and look through them, you know, each weekend or every month or whatever it is. So, you know, it's to each their own on that too, how you want to display your collection. Some people, everybody has different, you know, different strokes for different folks on that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause, framing is a whole nother beast.
Yeah. The glass is what's costly. When you get the museum quality, 99% UV resistant, the glass sometimes can be, you know, on a large piece, $200, and it's tough.
And so that's 99% for UV.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I would always say this: I would never hang anything directly in the sun, but I always get, for me personally, I get 99% UV resistant. So if there's any passing sun on it, you know, each day or whatever it is, you get some protection there. And then I like to get the anti-glare, so you can still take photos of it where they don't have that, like, you know, glare. So that's where it comes in at like the museum quality. But I think it's worth it to have them displayed, and like people come over to my house and are like, wow, these are awesome. What are these posters? I'm like, oh, no, they're not posters. These are the real thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That museum quality. That's what I need. I need that for my Man Thing, Miles Wool. Because
oh, Miles is awesome. Great painter.
Yeah. Yes. He did a Man Thing bust for me. Post OAX 2025, 8x10.
Yeah, he was booked up at OAX and at the show. So it was good that you got one after.
Yeah, and he honored the price for the OAX commission.
Oh,
so
nice. Very cool.
Yeah, mad cool. Awesome dude. I want to eventually get a bigger piece for Miles.
Yeah,
I like supporting his work. I got a lot of sketch cards from him. I'm looking forward to see what he's going to do for OAX. So yeah. It'll be fun. So as the vice president of operations at Comic Art Fans, what are we? You got any tidbits? Anything coming up for OAX or just for your booth, or you can share with us?
Well, I can't. You know, I don't want to spoil anything. We've still got some cool things coming for sure. I'm very excited for OAX 2026. It's like quite literally my favorite show of the year, not only because you know, I have all my artists there, I'm around my friends and I'm working it, but just being surrounded by the art is like such a cool feeling. Getting to see everybody bring kind of all the special stuff that they do. I don't think we kind of have said it, so I can say this is that Simone DeMille will have a special gallery at OAX 2026. So I'm very excited about that. That'll
awesome.
Be, you know, I'm very proud, like I said earlier, I'm very proud of him and like the work he's been doing, and being able to kind of sell his work all through different platforms. I feel like we're giving clients and collectors the best chance at it, where we did a live show on the internet. Then we did something where the book sold complete to one collector, and now we're going to have an entire issue for sale at a convention. So trying to hit each individual way of, you know, collector and giving them their own opportunities has been something that's been really cool.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, well said. I couldn't say it better myself. OAX is definitely the one show I'm going to be going to every year, or trying to my best to go to every year. Yeah. That's for sure. It was one hell of an experience for 2025. I'm looking forward to 2026. being around the artists. It's just like an intimate setting. It's not elbow to elbow crowded where you got too many people walking down the aisles. I mean, there was plenty of times where I walked up where the artist was talking to somebody picking up their commission, and then that person was just like, look how crazy it is, just like open, willing to show me their art, hand it to me. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to drop your piece. And they're like, look, you did this,
just hand it to me here. We hold it.
Yeah, it was just like everyone was just so fun, and just everyone was having a great time, and you could feel it in the atmosphere. You could see it on the artist's face. So if you got to at least try to go once. For me, at one point, it was like, oh, I mean, it still is. I'd like to try to go to San Diego Comic-Con once.
I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con.
Me neither.
You know, obviously we went to New York, and you can just say like New York's a great convention in its own way. Like I would always say, if you can get to New York Comic-Con, definitely do it. But you know, the difference between OAX and something like New York Comic-Con is like night and day. Like the best way I can kind of say about OAX is like you're getting the closest version of the artist to being in their own studio. Like that's what it feels like. Each one of them has their own little studio that they're just working at. You know, they have their own people that are kind of watching over them, or you know, picking up commissions, like you said, having their own individual conversations, and like you're not fighting through a signing timeline, or you know, cosplayer dressed as a Gundam, or you know, whatever it is. And by the way, they're cool, but it's just a very different experience.
Yeah, or a CGC authenticator gotta get in the way and push you out of the way when you're trying to take a picture.
Again, their own, like that's okay. But like I much prefer the OAX vibe than, you know, I know a lot of people that love the New York Comic-Con, San Diego, you know, movie releases, panels. Like I just prefer, I think the curation of OAX and how it is with the fan interaction to the artists is just second to none. Great question about the multiple artists attending the same show. So it's really not any harder to get them like set up. What it's more where it becomes more difficult is like scheduling things so I'm always available. So first off, it's easy to do it when I have some help. So shout out to my friends that helped me, Otis Arterberry, Anthony Procopio. They'll be with me at OAX. Two guys that I've met through collecting or known that I would say are definitely part of the DiTullio Art Collective team, and they love the artists that work with us. You know, the artists know them, so they'll help me, you know, set up, put the tablecloths down. But the most important thing is scheduling different signing times. So like if one signing's at 12, I can be handling, you know, art sales on the other side while the signing's happening or something like that. So I think the difference about having, you know, one artist or two or three is just the scheduling aspect of it, to make sure that you can still give, you know, each client the time that they need about the original art, while also allowing people to all get their signatures and commissions and things like that.
Nice. Yeah, great question. Hey, what's good, Jeremiah? Kasra, DiTullio, you could tell them that we've got around 10 more killer artists to announce. Very cool.
Listen, I'm not the spoiler guy. I signed the contract. I keep it, you know. I felt good enough just saying about the DeMio special gallery.
Yeah, there you go. CEO.
But yeah, I think it's we've got some really cool stuff going, and it's just it's growing each year. You know, each year it's been a different vibe in a better way. And I think the expansion of the show this year, having 2 major show floors, is going to be incredible. So I'm pumped about it.
Awesome. That's great. I'm pumped too, bro. A lot of people are. A lot of
you were like, some guy just handed me his commission. Like that does happen though.
Yeah, dude. I was like, whoa. I was like, that's a great piece. Oh, it was like there was a Sonia, red Sonia. That's what it was.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was a great piece. So one thing collectors love is that feeling of like anticipation during a drop. Can you walk us through how DAC handles art drops, releases, and featured pieces?
It's a great question. And I think the short answer is however the artist wants to do it. Most importantly, I'll always try to give my point of view or my, you know, thought on it. But most importantly, it's how the artist wants to, you know, do it, what's most comfortable for them. Now I'm very thankful that the artists I work with trust me a lot and sometimes say like, let's just do it this way. So, you know, with something like the X-Men Alpha that we did the live show on the CAF Plus YouTube prior to New York Comic Con, that was a really cool one to curate because we had a whole issue. It was a double issue. So it's not just 18 pages, it's 30 pages. It's DeMio's first Marvel work. It's Jeff Loeb's story. We had some people wanted to buy it complete, but we didn't really know what the value was. We didn't know, you know, where to set the bar. You saw the Jimenez Batman go for like 100,000. So I kind of talked to Simone and I said, what if we just sit down and set these prices to how hard you worked on these, like what you're comfortable with for each page. And let's not go through to the moon. Let's not undershoot ourselves. And if things don't sell on this show, then we can bring them to New York Comic Con and, you know, adjust from there. And getting to go through and do each page with him, you know, like I would give him my point of view, like, okay, this page has main characters like, you know, Sabretooth and Wild Child and Gambit. I think this is a good page for a collector. Like, how much time did you put into it? He would talk about it. We would kind of bounce prices back and forth, make that price, go page by page by page. And then when we did the drop, it was kind of a little bit scary because, you know, if you overpriced it and nobody bought anything, it was like, you know, you kind of left ourselves open there a little bit. But I think what was most important was it was done very transparently. It was just first come, first serve, done in the chat. And I loved seeing that people were excited about his work like I was, getting to help curate the event and do it. And being able to do it on the CAF Plus YouTube channel was like incredible. So I was like, just that was one of my most memorable art drops that I like curated because it was something new, something that CAF had never done, something that DiTullio Art Collective had never done, and something that Simone had never done. So I was very thankful for that one. And then I think a lot of the other times I like to do just like 3 or 4 website drops a year with 40 or 50 brand new pieces. I don't like really trickling out 3 or 4 pieces a week or a month or something. I prefer to, you know, get a drop. And I always try to go sizes, style, and medium, you know, 9x12, 11x17, oversized, pencil and ink, painted in, you know, watercolors or, you know, painted in acrylics. And I try to build, you know, some type of variance in the drop and then maybe a little animation artwork or something like that. But those are kind of just for drops for my website. The curation for the DeMio event was just something that was really fun.
Nice. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, so something like collectors care about deeply, I guess, would be how artwork is handled after they purchase to getting it when they're home. So like, how do you handle shipping something from Italy over here? Is there like something you specifically do, a specific carrier you prefer?
Good question. So what I try to do is actually minimize the amount of shipping that happens to me. So I'll actually go to Italy or have them meet up with us for a convention and we do an exchange there. So that eliminates right away loss of postal service, you know, things like that. You know, of course you can have your bag lost, but you know, for me, like I travel an 18x24 portfolio and I went to Singapore, I had my bag, I had that in it, 2 other portfolios. I just had 2 separate AirTag trackers in it, put them in there and, you know, bring them that way. So when they can do that from Italy and then I can do that from my bag.
Okay.
I also put a lot of art on my back. I have like a backpack that fits 13x19 portfolios, 3 of them. So I'll actually a lot of the times just put my clothes in the bag that goes under and then I keep the art on my back. So that way it's always with me. But the most important thing about shipping I take very seriously is I pack every single order from DiTullio Art Collective by hand. I go and get the Masonite boards cut at Home Depot or I cut them myself. I'll put your artwork in a bag. Then I put it on a piece of Masonite, tape it down with painter's tape. Then I put another piece of Masonite on it, so it's a sandwich. Then I seal it with, I have it right here actually. Then I seal it with Gorilla Tape, so it's completely watertight.
Nice.
Then I put that into a bag. I seal that, and then I put that into an envelope. And then I put that envelope completely taped around the entire thing, top, bottom, sides, and then mail it out. So I take the packing very seriously because I've had art damaged on multiple occasions. And like the thing when art gets damaged that really sucks is like there is no like send me another one.
Yeah.
There is no like, hey, I can give you a refund. Like that means that piece is kind of like ruined then. So I really always try to like make them like bomb proof, and it takes a little bit longer. I'm dead serious. I'm not the fastest shipper, but knock on wood, I've never had anything damaged from DiTullio Art Collective. So that's something I take super seriously, because if that gets damaged, like I lose out on both ends. The collector gets upset. I feel like I let them down. And then I have to explain to the artist that something that I sold for them, now we have to give a refund or however it works out. So I really try to take packing as like one of the most important things that I do at DiTullio Art Collective.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Because I've had something shipped, not OA, but Sketchcards, and sometimes it's from an artist, or sometimes it's from a purchase.
It's in like an envelope.
In an envelope or scotch tape, and you're like, what is going on? I gotta like use an X-Acto knife to get this out. I might ruin the car. Horrible horror stories I've had. It's with sketch cards, not OA. But is there like a particular horror story that you could think of? Maybe not with you, but that you heard that you're like, oh my God, I've got to make sure we do this spot on.
Well, no, I think sometimes like I would get like packages with like a page in it where it was just like somebody would like go to USPS and just get the flat rate priority box and just take like 4 flat rate priority boxes that were flat, 2 on each side, and then they would take a 5th priority mailbox and like actually construct it and then just put that in there so it was like still could move, and then would like seal it up, which would crunch it, and then just mail it that way. And like that was something where like I was like, yeah, this isn't like ideal. So I send everything, you know, like this is one right here that I just packed earlier today. So you can see like this thing it's not going anywhere. And it's completely sealed on every side. And like you could jump up and down on this and like the art is not going to move because it's got like flexible masonite in there, along with some like the inside of this is bubble wrap. And I like custom order these. I custom order the bags, so they all are to the same size of the art, you know, 11 by 17, 16 by 20, 11 by 14, and 18 by 24. And then those are all sealed watertight.
Oh, that's great, man. Well, everyone out there, be rest assured that if you buy a piece of
knock on wood,
Hey, you're going the extra effort more than you know.
We're trying.
I've seen, so bravo, kudos. That's great. I like that. Perna, Matt awesomely shared his origin in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, Tony, we'll talk about it at OAX in person, or you can rewind the episode. I'm not going to go back.
Yeah. It was beautifully said. It's a great journey. Catch the replay, brother. Pop in a comment. Let me know you watched it again. Little plug. Self-plug. That's it.
I love it.
So, bro, you've built like a solid following, like a real collecting community. I've met Brandon Underwood.
Yeah, I saw he was on your show. He's awesome.
Yeah, insane collection. So cool. What was like your personal experience being able to help him curate his collection, get these commissions like at OAX? Yeah, share it.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Brandon's client and a friend. He's an awesome guy. He's it's been a real like double-sided thing with him and I. So he put some trust in me, and he fell in love with Simone's art. I had nothing to do with that, but then he enjoyed the experience of working with me for the first time and meeting at OAX. And we just started bouncing ideas off each other about future commissions. And he told me about, the goal he had for his collection. And, he was very willing to ask for my opinion and then either take it or not. But we were just having those conversations, which is like really great because I'm not the end collector, but I always say like, I can tell you what Simone prefers. And like, I can tell you, the things that he really excels at, or the things that, he's trying for new techniques or something that, this would be perfect for this. And he was very receptive to all that. Sometimes took the ideas, sometimes didn't, but building his collection and growing that has been really great. It's been super fun. And then on the flip side is he's taught me a ton about animation art. So I've kind of educated him a little bit, very small amount on the comic book and original art side. And he's educated me a ton on the animation cell space. And like, that's kind of reinvigorated my collecting spirit, if you will. Like now I'm collecting animation cells and like having an absolute blast and building my own personal collection for those. And it's been great.
Oh, cool. So that's like your new journey.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm never going to get away from, comic book art, but it's to me another thing. Like I love some specific animes like Yu Yu Hakusho and Vampire Hunter D, and being able to own the original art from the episodes that I watched as a kid is something like very special to me.
That's really cool. That's really cool. I got a cell once of Eeyore. Yeah. When I went to Disney and for the 2000, they did the Epcot thing for 2000, and we went there, and I got a Eeyore cell, and that was the first animation cell I ever got. And,
that's awesome.
It's a really cool cell, and yeah, I mean, I always liked it. I was like, oh, that was actually used in the making of an episode. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Like my favorite thing in like my wife is she's so great because she puts up with me. I'm this big nerd. I'll be like watching something. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, hold on 1 second. And I'm like, stop it. I'm like, I'm going to go get this. And I literally like run it and she like tolerates me. But it's like, him for sure, dude. Like Toonami was awesome.
Yes.
You know what I just bought the bootleg of because I couldn't find like the HD one? It was a Toonami show. It was called Zoids. And it was like Mobile Suit Gundam, but they were animals and they like fought. Just started again, having a blast. It was on Toonami at like 9 p.m. on channel 46 Cartoon Network when I was like 7 or 10.
Okay, it was 32 for me. It was channel 32 for me. Yeah.
Exactly. You remember the channel. And like,
I do, yeah.
I'm having a blast watching it.
I did. Oh man, I loved it. You know what? It's so funny too because when you shared, we were watching Free Rent. I was like, oh, I watched that too.
Like I am normally like I've got a Naruto, Kakashi hoodie on. I am like a battle anime, like fighting journey, whatever. Like that's my probably like wheelhouse. Frieren was just like an incredible story. It was like so good. I remember like watching it and being like, there's been 6 episodes and nobody's fought and I am loving this. It was so good. Like my wife got into it. She would, like, we were watching it together. She liked it. Like, but it was it was like not normally my wheelhouse and I was completely in. That anime was awesome.
But when they did get to fight, and
the fights were great. They were incredible.
What? I was like, oh, she's about to go hard.
Like, Frieren just like basically bodied everybody all the time and like didn't need to try. When she fights like herself, that one was awesome. I was
because she had to go hard. Yeah,
this is awesome.
But when she fought that demon chick, she's like, you silly girl.
Yeah,
like. I've been hiding my shield this whole time.
Exactly. Like, she was like, and you don't notice at all.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is a good show, man.
Kenshin is another classic. Yeah. Rurouni Kenshin, another absolute classic.
You know what I'm hardcore into with me and my son watched every episode, and I'm actually on my second run, is Black Clover.
See, it's on my list. I've never watched it.
Dude.
All right, now that just this podcast and your reaction just moved it up the list of like to start it. Like something I'll watch soon.
My son and I might get a tattoo associated to that at OAX.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he's the one who mentioned it to me. He's like, oh, let's get a tattoo because he'll be 18. So I was like, why not? I mean, add it to my collection.
Yeah. I mean, I have a bionic arm, so I'm sure he can't do much worse than that, There
you go. Yeah.
My parents were like, really? You had to get a whole bionic arm? I'm like, did you see Captain America 2: The Winter Soldier? You want a bionic arm after that.
That's funny. Yeah, Black Clover is great. That one's really good.
Yeah, like I watched like Blue Eye Samurai. That was phenomenal.
Okay.
I did I watch like classic animes all the time, but I've been trying to get into the newer stuff. I like Solo Leveling. I like Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer is great.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Did you see it in the theaters?
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It was amazing in the theater, man.
Oh,
It was
awesome.
good.
But like Black Clover, there's two that I have to watch Black Clover, and a lot of people recommend Dr. Stone, and I've never seen either of those.
I watched
I hear a good thing about both of those.
Yeah, Dr. Stone was I didn't watch all of it. What did I start picking up instead of it? And then I never picked it back up again. There was something else I started watching and I put that down. But that was pretty good. It's a crazy idea of like the story, what's going on and stuff. So
Right.
But I think Black Clover has a little bit of all of my favorite kind of anime put together.
Mm.
And you'll notice it throughout episodes. There's a few filler episodes that you just don't have to watch, but for the most part,
I like watching them as with tradition. That's part of the anime experience.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man is sick. That one was
Chainsaw
really
Man is incredible.
Hell's Paradise,
incredible.
Can't wait for season 2. Yeah, that's
I
gonna be
mean,
sick.
My Hero Academia just finished. The end was awesome. Like, you know,
I didn't catch that one. I
Yeah.
haven't caught that one. Yeah,
yeah.
my daughter is familiar with that one.
Yeah, it's very good. I liked it. I mean, I'm like all in, but I like going back and watching the classics. Like I watch a lot of, like I said, Vampire Hunter D, Yu Yu Hakusho. There's an anime called Claymore. If you've never watched Claymore, it's in my top 5. I absolutely love it.
Have I heard of that? I think I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Afro Samurai.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Incredible. Attack on Titan. Yeah, I mean, they're all, you know, I watch them all, but I also like just sometimes I like just throwing something on I don't have to focus in on. And I feel like if I'm going to watch Black Clover or like Dr. Stone, I should really be watching it to like pay attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Black Clover stopped. They stopped the cartoon or anime because it was getting too close to the releases
of the books. Yeah,
correct. So they were like, oh, we're gonna hold off, and then that way we've got more creative room. But then it just fell off, and the huge fan base was like, yo, when are you still have the license, when are you gonna do this again? Then they did like a Netflix movie, which was okay, but it really didn't give the tone of like bringing the show back. But now the show's coming back, so I'm like, oh, I'm excited. That's
like what they did with, like, if you ever watch Hunter x Hunter, like that's supposed to be coming back out soon, but like they took like a humongous break because the head animator, like producer guy, he had like he had some mental health issues, so he like stepped away because he was feeling like so much pressure to continue delivering the book each month that he was like getting screwed up. So he like took a step back, and now like Hunter x Hunter's back in production, and like everyone's pumped because it was the same thing. It's like great show, really enjoyed it. Berserk.
Yeah. They're kind of working on it. They're releasing it. Yeah,
they'll get there. The Berserk ending that we see
deserve and want.
Craziest ending. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of the Golden Arc.
Wild.
The Black Swordsman and the Golden Arc are my favorite.
Black Swordsman's incredible, but I mean the scene where like, you know, Griffith transformed.
Oh God, yeah.
You're never the same. You're never the same after that one.
Nah, dude. Nah, I watched that with my son. I was like, oh man, dude, I'm different right now. Like that was a bad scene. And I watched it with you. He was like 16 at the time. I was like, oh man.
Like it never fails whenever I'm like watching a new anime and my wife walks by, it's always at like the craziest scene. And like I remember I was watching Berserk like again because it was, you know, it's very good. I love it.
Oh yeah.
She like walks by when that's happening. She's like, what are you watching? I'm like, I swear to God, the show is not like this, just like this like next 10 minutes is just crazy. But
it's like that funny meme where like you're watching an anime and then all of a sudden it's these crazy, like, you know, noises and somebody just happens to walk by like, what the hell are you watching? And you're like, I swear it's a cartoon. It's just like
exactly it.
But meanwhile they're like thinking something crazy's happening on screen. So like looking ahead, what do you want to take DAC in the next year or so?
I think the most important thing is to just keep growing the customer base. I just want, you know, my biggest thing is I just want people to know that there's like a place to buy modern comic art. You know, there's a lot of people that focus specifically on, you know, Silver Age or Bronze Age or, you know, whatever. Like, I just love modern comic art. You know, that's kind of my wheelhouse. I'll deal in some Silver Age stuff, but my big thing is I love, talking to people about modern comic art, because I think it's going to be, I think we're seeing everything scale up, and I think it's going to hopefully continue on that path. And I don't know, I love seeing people pick up the original for the book that they love, or a character from the artist that they love, and that's their favorite character, and it goes perfect into their personal collection, and they pull out like a portfolio that has 10 or 12 different ones, and I get to look through them all with them, and they show me or whatever it is. Like having more moments like that, so growing the customer base to do that. Yeah, I'll be honest, the money's nice, but it's really not the most important thing. I love just the feeling of helping people get the art that they love and adding things to their collection. It's just it's really cool, and I think just doing that more is the goal.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm sure it's gratifying. That's cool.
Yeah, it's the coolest. It's like when a guy got something from us, Simone DiMeo, when we were at Fan Expo Toronto the very first year, so almost 3 years ago. He came back this year like with the piece, and then said, I want you to do this one, and he did like Rogue looking this way. He's like, now I want Gambit looking this way. And like he brought the piece back from like almost 3 years ago, and then like took a dual photo with him. He was like, I'm gonna frame these together. Like having moments like that is like just the absolute coolest.
Yeah, very cool. I'm sure. So let me see how many people we got in the giveaway. All right, we got 5 entries in the giveaway. We got 11 people in the live. That's pound Ramble on. So make sure you hit pound Ramble on. Yeah, and I'll get that over to you guys. If you do win, congratulations, and hit me up on Instagram with the same handle, and please give me your name and address, and I'll be able to ship that out to you. Just take into effect there is the holiday, so there might be a delay with shipping. So just take that into account.
Before we do the giveaway, I did want to show this real quick. I thought this will be something cool we can do a little teaser for.
Oh, yeah.
These will be available at OAX from Simone. These are his villains, new Marvel villains book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What's really cool about these is when you buy one, you get the option to have a original sketch in the first page.
Oh, sick, dude.
Yeah. So these will be available by Simone at OAX. So we'll sneak peek for the chat here.
Oh, that's a great opportunity.
Yeah, they're cool. And Simone doesn't do a lot of just pencil sketches. He doesn't do like remarks or anything, but he did this book, and he specifically picked out the first page to have like a Fabriano style paper in here that he's very comfortable in drawing on.
Okay.
So getting a headshot pencil sketch from Simone is not something he normally does, but when you buy the book, you'll be able to get one of these as well.
Ah, dude, that's a cool Gambit too, man. Is that
Gambit? Any idea of the price for the book with the sketch in it? It's going to be they're $450.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. 450. And that's with the book and the sketch.
And a sketch. Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, fire. Yep, you're right. That is a must-have. Is that going to be like a show exclusive? You're there, you can get it? Okay.
We may open pre-show. If we do that, that'll be through my Instagram or through a Comic Art CAF update, on Comic Art Live, Comic Art Fans YouTube channel. But yeah, they'll either be pre-show there or to be done at the show. I think we haven't finalized the numbers yet, but I think we're going to take 10. So there would be probably 5 pre-show and then 5 to be done at the show or something like that. So the spots will be limited, but they'll be really cool.
Yeah, that is
so cool. Thanos, the best part is, Tim, you can get any character you want, but I do have a Thanos.
Oh.
Where is it?
He's got one to show, Tim. Yeah, I was watching a few of the Instagram reels from Simone and Bianchi, and I saw him working on a few of those cover sketches, and I was like, oh wow, that's really cool. Oh, look at that, dude. Oh wow, man.
There it is.
Yeah. What? That's great, man.
Is the book available without the sketch? Not at this time.
Okay.
Because these are just going to be for the ones with the sketch, because right now these are the Italian print. So these aren't like going to be for circulation in the US without the sketch. So,
Oh, cool.
Yeah. We'll
that's a high collector piece there, guys.
But we'll maybe figure it out where I can just get the books. It just depends on how many and if they're willing to do another print run, or how we're going to get them, because they're very heavy. So to get them all the way from Italy to here, 50 books would be pretty expensive. So we'll have to figure it out. But
you just need a whole bunch of us to come to Italy with backpacks, carry-ons. That's it.
Yeah. So I think, like I said, I think we'll probably have 10 to have the sketches in. And if I can see if Simone can bring any more, we will. But we will definitely have these available for consumption at OAX, which will be the first time they've ever been offered in the United States. So that'll be really cool.
Oh, thanks for sharing that. That is so cool, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking forward to seeing that at OAX.
I have one more I can show you. Let me see.
Oh, cool.
I realized there's another pile in the Thanos isn't in this room. Let me see. What's this one? Oh, yeah. This one's great.
Oh, wow. Wolverine. That's a cool Logan, man.
And then
great work for for the price point. Oh, dude. Oh, he did. It's so cool, man. He's putting in some good detail on those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah. So there's
I'm looking forward to seeing those.
There's a little sneak peek for OAX for you.
Yeah. Hey, jump on that, guys. Make sure you see that when we get to the show floors there. So Matt, is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
No, I mean, I just want to say again, thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it. You've had a great guest lineup prior to me, so I'm honored to be on. And as I said, just keep on collecting. Collect the way you want to collect. Enjoy yourself, and most importantly, you got to ramble on.
Hey, that's it, brother. That's it. Thanks. All right, everybody. I'm gonna run this in 3, 2, 1. Good luck. Very cool. And make sure, again, if you win, please reach out to me on Instagram and provide. Man, this is Armando. You've won like so many times now. I'm just gonna
in the game.
All right. Congratulations. I still got to ship you over your Miles Wolf sketch, so I'll put this in with it, and I'll send that your way. All right. Congratulations. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, guys. So that wraps up today's episode. A huge thank you to DiTullio Art Collective for joining me and giving us an inside look at what it really takes to build and curate a space for collectors and artists alike. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, comment, and share it with fellow collectors. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. Keep collecting, keep creating, and as always, ramble on. Peace out, guys.
See you guys.